Once whatever you thought of, the service, the product is solving a particular problem, there, ladies and gentlemen, you have a business. And that is what we are looking for. If you've been wanting to start a business and you're asking yourself, how do I start a business in the first place? Like, what do I want to do? I think you should watch this video. Actually, watch this video. Watch this video. Most of us think starting a business is getting a product or a service that we basically think about it comes to mind, and then voila, we need to start a business. I am here to announce to you that you're very wrong. Why? Because there's one thing that every business should do, and immediately a business is not doing that, it's not a business. Basically a joke. That one thing every business should do is to solve a problem. Immediately your business is not solving a problem, you don't have a customer base, you don't have a target audience, you wouldn't survive even the first 3 days in that business, because it is not solving any problem. Hence, it is not needed in society. It is not viable to people. People don't see the value of it, right? But then once whatever you thought of, the service, the product is solving a particular problem, there, ladies and gentlemen, you have a business. And that is what we are looking for. In society, we think about, oh, every day there are businesses emerging. Every day there are businesses that people are doing. Why can't I start a business? Why wouldn't I start a business? Oh, I want to start a business, but I'm scared to start. We'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that, but let's not deviate. So, to be able to start a business, number one, start with a problem. What problem are you solving? Oh, I realized that when people pick Uber, their friends are not able to tell where they are, even though the Uber app says they update you if you share your ride. But then you want to come up with a service called Google, where people can track, or Snapchat's map, where people can see where their friends are, their family members are, or even iPhone sharing location or WhatsApp sharing location. So you came up with such an idea. That is solving the problem of being able to find places, being able to see where your family and friends are, if they are safe or not. And that is a problem that has been solved. So before you think about, oh, I want to start a business, ask yourself one simple question. One simple question. What problem am I solving? And that will be the beginning of a great idea and a very, very successful business. This is something I did with a client, and we actually ended up realizing a lot of things doing just this particular thing. Knowing your ideal client or your ideal customer. We usually would mix ideal customer and target audience, which, mind you, both of them are very, very different, but most of us just mix it up. Oh, my ideal customer is the same as my target audience. No, your ideal customer is not the same as your target audience. But today, that's not what I'm here to talk about, so I'm not going to go into details for that. What I'm saying is that identify your ideal customer. When you're able to identify that ideal customer, you would be able to sell to them directly with ease, and they are able to know that once I have this problem, I'm going to this business to help me solve it. And that is important, because that is how you make money, or that is how you make profit. Ideal customer, everybody's talking about ideal customer. Who is an ideal customer? The person who has the problem your business has the solution to. That is your ideal customer. That's one person. You need to make sure that you know the person so much, so well, that you speak their language, and then it gives them that aha. That person is talking right to me, and I need to try their service or buy their product. That ideal customer is very, very important. And this is a research most people do not even do. Actually, people are actually already doing that business, and they're selling to everybody, and people are buying. So yeah, I want to get into that business. That is going to be your downfall, because that doesn't mean people are buying from business A, people are going to buy from business B. Okay? Know your ideal customer and make sure you research to know them very well. It is the key to a successful business, trust me. When you're able to speak to the pain points of your ideal customer, they feel that you understand them. They feel that you know them. They feel that you understand what keeps them up at night, and that you're able to acquire them as customers and eventually make money. This is a step, for one, I jammed it. But over the years, thinking of it, I don't think I jammed it, but just that I experimented with people also still paying for the service. When I started my gift business, the first time I decided to check if the idea was viable or not was on Mother's Day. Unfortunately for me, I was able to sell some of the things that I wanted to sell, the gifts I put together. And that was how I knew that this business is actually a viable business, you always need to make sure you are validating the business idea. You have family and friends, you have people around you. Try the products with them. Ask them questions, get feedback. If it's a service, let them try the service. Ask them questions, get feedback. It is very, very important. Now, even if your family and friends are not going to do it, which if they are not doing that, you need to get out of that space. But what I'm saying is, get into Facebook groups, join normal WhatsApp groups, go on TikTok, post about the idea or ask questions, go on Reddit. If you want people to roast your idea, go on Reddit. Reddit would just have people wanting to use the products and then also giving you feedback. And on Reddit, I always call Reddit the blunt social media platform. Nobody's minding words. Nobody's going, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. If you're not ready to have your feelings hurt, Reddit is not the place to go. Always make sure you validate your idea. That's what I'm saying. Your ideas should be validated by testing your product or service to be able to even start your business in the first place. Number 4 is to do your competitor research. It is very important. It's like a non-negotiable that I think as a business owner, you should sit down and do a detailed competitor research to understand what even like the market you're entering is like, to be able to reach a certain kind of audience. Your competitors would give you new ideas. Your competitors would challenge your idea. Your competitors would make you understand if you're on the right path or not. And that's what competitor research actually does for you. Up until this point, you have the idea, you're solving a problem, you are validating your idea, you have identified your ideal customer, and you've eventually been able to do your competitor research. Now we come to creating the product or the offer. What are you selling? Who is it for? What results are they going to get when they buy or use your service? Why should they come to you? I call this stage the 4 W's, right? And it's the why, what, who, where. Where do you find the people to buy your products? It is very important to make sure that you're not just offering a product or a service. You need to know these things. Who are you selling it to? Why should they come to you and not your competitors? After you've been able to create your product and service, we move to understanding your numbers, and that is point 5. Understanding your numbers means that you should know when your business will break even. You should know what your monthly expenses would be. You should know what profit will look like for your business, and even how you're going to price your product or service. I have a whole series on pricing on my Instagram and TikTok. You can go and watch how to price your business. However, it's very important that you know how to price and also make profit. What is your startup cost going to look like? These are things that you need to sit down and figure out to be able to do the business and launch successfully. A lot of businesses don't pay attention to their numbers. They think, I am starting a business, so whatever money I'm putting in is the investment I wanted to make into the business. But I don't know even what their monthly expenses are. Some of them even think of just rent as their monthly expenses. Meanwhile, they pay maybe 4 to 5 employees, which should be part of their monthly expenses. They don't even know how much of their profit cost goes into the business. All these things are very crucial to building a successful business. Hence, it is something you should know, and that's why I say you need to understand your numbers. If you want to be an entrepreneur, numbers should be your best friend. You should be able to sit down and sit with yourself and know the numbers. Get acquainted with whatever numbers that go in and out of your business. If in a certain month you didn't do well, why? What was the numbers like? Where did you fall short? Use data you have to make right and strategic decisions, and that will save you a lot of money and time. And mind you, time is what? Money. If you've known me for a very long time and you followed me for a very long time, you know that this particular stage I don't joke with. Branding. The success of your business or the failure of your business actually is based off on this. You might have a very good business product, you might do your numbers, you know your numbers, you know your ideal customer and everything. However, immediately you get branding wrong, you will run the business into the gutters, because branding is what holds the business together. It's like molding a pot, right? But you use clay. Now, the pot needs a finishing to make it look attractive to buy, right? And that's how come you paint the pot. In your quest to paint the pot to make it look attractive for people to buy, if you do not paint it well, nobody will buy. And that is basically what branding is. Branding is what your business looks on the outside, what people perceive of your business when they see it. Branding is a non-negotiable for every business. Yeah, there are businesses that have come out, they started a business and then they somehow hopped onto a trend on social media and went viral and they got traction. But because their branding is not on point, they got traction from just everybody, right? They got the numbers, they got the views, but they didn't make the money. Aside the fact that branding allows you to reach your audience and also beautify the business you've put together, branding allows you to also stand out. It allows you to differentiate yourself from the pool of competitors on the market. If you don't brand your business properly, this is what is going to happen. So basically, you have a pond of fishes, right? And there are lots of fishes in that pond. You, as a shark, if you go into that pond, you will stand out. However, if you are a regular fish, when you go into that pond, you what? You'll be mixed with other fishes and you wouldn't stand out, right? It's like having a golden fish and you're adding a golden fish to a pond of different fishes. The golden fish will always stand out because it's gold. It's easy to identify. It's easy to see. And that's what branding does. It allows you to stand out from the crowd. So one of the stories that I've told over the years, and I'm pretty much sure people are like really tired of hearing now. I'm pretty much sure people are really tired of hearing this story, is how I lost my business, my first ever business, when I started it. After I think almost 6 months, 7 months into the business. Thank God I even lost it earlier. I would have lost it after 4 years, 5 years, because I didn't do just one particular thing. And especially in our country where it's not a necessity. It is a necessity, but there is little to no supervision when it comes to that aspect of the businesses in the country, and that is business registration. A lot of businesses are in this country that are not registered. A whole lot of them are operating and not registered. Some of them are even operating and don't have the right certifications to operate. But because there's little to no supervision, nobody is looking at it, nobody is paying attention to it, and people are getting away with it. However, if you really want to grow a successful business and be able to stand in spaces where opportunities are easy to get, it is very important to register your business. It's not just for even the government, but if you have investment opportunities, there are different benefits your business can stand to gain. It is a need to register your business. You need to register your business. It is a necessity. So what I have spoken about today, most businesses go from having a business idea, some of them even don't validate it, and jump from having a business idea to building an online presence. And that's how come businesses come 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. About 80% of businesses don't make the 5 years mark for startups. And that is very frustrating, because you would waste time, energy, put in effort, everything to be able to build a business, and then in the long run the business doesn't do well. Why? Because you went from, I have a business idea, I want to be an entrepreneur, to building an online presence and start posting. Business doesn't work like that. It's very good to have an online presence. I am a firm believer of making money on social media, because that is how I have made money. And it's very important that you have an online presence for your business. Those of you who say, oh, my business there, I just post on my WhatsApp status and then my friends and my family buys and then they recommend to other people because the product I'm selling is from heaven. Those of you who do that, it is very important to have an online presence, and WhatsApp is not online presence. I said it. Being on WhatsApp is not having an online presence. When I Google your business, will I find it? And most of us have businesses that are not even listed on Google. Meanwhile, it is very easy to list your business on Google. If I go on Instagram to type your business or say that I'm looking for a spice company to work with, will I find your business? Would your business be amongst the many? When I go to LinkedIn to find your business, will I find it? Twitter, TikTok. Am I the only one who doesn't know how to use Twitter? And so I'm not sure. Anyways, these are online presence that is very important to have to be able to build your business. I am wrapping up soon, and this is almost the last but one thing I want to talk about. After you've been able to validate your idea, find your ideal customer, build an online presence, do your competitor research, build a solid brand. After being able to do all this, there's another important thing you should be able to do, and that's coming up with a marketing plan. A marketing plan is not posting on social media. You should be able to come up with a good marketing plan that allows you to be able to market your product or service online and offline. It is not just waking up in the morning and posting on TikTok. It's not just waking up in the morning and posting on Instagram. Marketing goes above that. If someone who hasn't got social media needs your service, would they be able to find you? Would they be able to know about you in the first place? All these are questions you need to ask to be able to come up with a marketing plan that is going to help your business grow. Think of marketing as the accelerator to your business. Like when you have a car, right? You put a car together, you have the engine, you have the seats, everything. If you don't put the car in accelerate or drive, it wouldn't move. And that is marketing. Marketing is your car drive. It is very important to make sure that you have a marketing plan. And one of these days, that is a topic we'll discuss on its own. There are different marketing plans you can have. There's content marketing, there's email marketing, there's social media marketing. There are different marketing plans that you can come up with for your business to be able to start your business. Now, we've been able to cover most parts of starting a business, what starting a business looks like, and the step-by-step procedure on how to start a business. The last thing that we all want to get to at the end of the day is having customers. Getting your first customers is the most exciting and fulfilling part of every business. When a client buys from you, you know that your business has gone from just an idea to a business. And that is why I say it's very important that amidst all these things, you make sure that you're solving a problem to be able to even get your first customer. Reach out to friends, families, acquaintances. Make sure that you're talking about your business at any point in time, and people know that you are actually doing this business. Don't hide and say, oh, I've just started, so I'm waiting for everybody to get to understand what I'm doing. No. The least chance you get, talk about your business. When you go for events and you're introducing yourself, introduce yourself, talk about what you do, and talk about your business. Aside the fact that you need marketing, you are the number one advertiser and marketer of your business. So you should be able to market your business very well. You should be able to talk about your business with so much confidence that someone thinks about it and it's like, oh, wait, actually, let me try this person's product, because the way they talk about it, it sounds interesting. You are the one going to sell your business first before any other person will be able to sell your business. Once again, this is for entrepreneurs, and we loved having you here. I hope this is helpful. I will see you in my next video. Bye.